What's up, Capoeira Nation? Welcome back to the Capoeira Experience podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting the podcast. Uh, very happy for the Capoeira community, the support of the Capoeira community. And just before I get started, let me announce this. Very soon, very soon, I'm going to be scheduling an interview. Should I tell you? Should I not tell you? You know what? I'm gonna tell you at the very end. But right now, I'm on the process of scheduling an interview with a really good master, a capoeira mestre. That he has a lot of knowledge on history, a lot of knowledge on music. I believe he's in Brazil right now, and he speaks English really well. So he will be able to translate and to not only the English to English version, but also to translate some small questions that have how can I explain this? So once if you have tried to explain capoeira to somebody that they don't know anything about capoeira, how will you explain it? Right? So is a martial art, is a cultural, is a because at the beginning, when, like, for example, here in Indiana, when you show to somebody what capoeira is, oh, that looks pretty cool. What is it? It's a martial art. Oh, well, you do martial arts and you start kicking around, or just like doing backflips and music. Yeah, yes. But and then but it's not just because, right? So on the eye of somebody that they don't know, you have to you have to put on the right way or translate it for them to understand on the first impression, right? So is how can you explain a capoeira philosophy or a capoeira ritual to somebody that have no idea what capoeira is? First time that I've seen capoeira, what it is, what is this? So is a challenge. It's a challenge. It's a really cool challenge because it helps us to understand what we do, so we can explain it to somebody that they don't know what we do. So it's really cool to find that translation. So I want to bring him on because he has a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, and translating all these rituals so we can express this more. And that's also one of the reasons I started the podcast, because I want to see different perspective, different experiences for people to see what how so the way how I see capoeira is going to be the completely different way of how you see capoeira. And but at the same time it is very similar, if that makes sense. Is everybody has a different perspective for everything, right? So is that's the beautiful thing about capoeira and the world, right? Like everybody thinks different, and that makes a beautiful place to be, because it will be super boring if everybody thinks the same, because we'll be have everybody the same idea. We'll have everybody. Do you imagine looking into a city where everybody look the same, dress the same, think the same, walk the same, drive the same? Boring. But on in our community, it's really nice to see this. And of course, again, I'm gonna bring him. uh just be ready for this podcast. Is going to be This podcast with him is probably going to be about an hour, or I hope I can compress all my questions in an hour. I'm pretty sure that's hard to compress, but just be ready to absorb all the knowledge from him. Okay. If you have a question, if you have a question that you would like to ask about history, about music, about rituals in the Hada, please don't hesitate to send it to me so I can ask him Again, I'm gonna tell you who it is at the very end. So stay tuned. Listen till the end so I can give you the information. And even though even everybody have knowledge in capoeira, everybody. And when they come to people that study very deep into details, like Maestra Francesina, when I brought her to the podcast, um, I want to see if I can bring her back because her internet connection was a little um, it was really weird connection, and it was off and on, and it was really hard for me to catch her knowledge. So I still caught it, but if you have a clear voice, that will be even better for us to understand what they talk about. So so yes, stay tuned because I'm gonna tell you who he is, and at the very end, I will explain a little bit more about him. So the point today of the podcast is two things, very short things, is something that is very common in the capoeira community, and the positive way and the negative way, and something for the first point. The second point is something that sometimes you get confused in the translation of this. So, for example, the first point, since I started 2001 until today, I see many people, and I see a lot of um, I see a lot of transitions in between groups, myself, including myself. For example, and that breaks down to two things. Okay, let me talk first about the transitions in between groups. When I switch, I started in Grupo Raízes do Brasil, back in Venezuela, in 2008, 2009, something like that. I don't remember. 2010. I don't remember. But I switched from Raízes do Brasil to Capoeira Brasil. And that transition, right before I switched, I was actually, let me take the back. Okay, way before that, Raízes do Brasil and Venezuela is split up on two. One, we were about, I'm talking about probably like 300 people, and one city. I'm talking about, we were a lot of people in one single city, same group, same people, the same structure, build it up from scratch. But one capoeira master came to Venezuela, and he wanted to flip the entire script that they were doing, and he messed up the entire system that they had. So the old instructors at the time, they decided to split up. They were like, I'm not gonna be part of this anymore. We're gonna go on our own way, and they created, uh, let's say, their own group. Okay, yes, they created their own group. Okay, so they created their own group, and but a completely different style. They start creating, play a little more Angola, following the path. So this mestre, he tried to keep what we were doing, but a lot of people disappear. I'm talking about from 300, we went to 150, and then from 150 we went to like 20 people. So just imagine how much wreck we got in that on that time. So, and a lot of people left, a lot of people stopped doing capoeira, a lot of people, really great capoeiristas, man, great capoeiristas that you can see today's day, and you're like, man, why you stop doing capoeira? So when that happened, I was in the middle. I was, or should I go with these guys, or should I go with this mestre? And I was in this question: what should I do, left or right? Okay, so if I go to practice Angola, it's not really my style. I like speed, but I like this guy. But the system of these guys doing is a little bit different of what I used to do or what I was used to. So I feel like this is a question that comes up very often in the capoeira community when they are about to switch, and is, if I switch, are my friends going to hate me because I switch? Very, very, very common. And every time I talk to somebody that wants to either get out of supervision, or either uh, switch groups, or either stop doing capoeira, and the one of the very common situations and questions that I see there is people saying, "Are my friends are going to hate me because I'm going to make this decision?" On that time, I came to the realization from that time until now, and I use that to this day. If you are my friend, if you are truly my friend, you are going to respect my decision and support my decision. So if either if I switch to Angola or I switch to keep doing the transition I was doing, that this other group didn't like, man, is my decision. Why are you gonna hate me? Why you as my friend are going to push me down and push me away just because I make a decision that is for me, that is going to make me happy? So is when I asked myself that questions, and I was like, man, are these gonna hate me? Are these guys are gonna hate me? Are my friends gonna hate me? My buddies are gonna hate me, man. They're probably gonna hate me. They're not gonna like me anymore. They're probably gonna stop talking to me. And I was having this conversation. I stopped training for like a month, probably, because I was asking myself this question, and I was like, should I or should I not? And then I was like, whatever, man. I'm gonna do it. If they don't like it, they're not my friends. And fortunately, like probably half of them, and we were like a group of 10, or yeah, like 10 or less, a little bit less. Half of them didn't like my decision, and we just cut the relationship because, you know, again, it's a decision that I'm going to make for myself, and it's a decision that is going to make me happy. So, and the other half, they support me, do whatever, man. Is for you, Is a decision for you. And I was like, these are my friends. So, yeah, man, and that's one of the questions that people do when they are going to switch. So one thing here, you know, when you have friends inside your capoeira group, if on both sides, if you are their friend and and if my friend wants to switch groups, wants to switch supervision, I don't really care, man. Is you do you, and if that's going to make you happy, go ahead and do it. I'm not gonna judge you. And now on the other side of the spectrum, if I'm going to switch supervision, so I'm going to switch groups, so what? You know what I mean? Is my decision is going to make me happy. So that happens when you want to switch groups, and of course it comes with like adaptation. Like, okay, now I gotta adapt to this new system. Sorry, I gotta adapt to this new system and switch what I need to switch for me to be part of this, right? It's like moving to a new country. You move to a new country, you have to adapt. You have to adapt to the country. The country should adapt to you. That's why I speak English these days, baby, and help me a lot. But that's another topic. So when uh when I switch to this guy, I have to adapt to his way to teach, to his way to see stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do capoeira. I'm gonna train a lot. I don't want to stop training. And man, I did capoeira back then when I switched under him every single day. We did a bunch of presentations. We were doing maculele, we were doing puxada de rede, we were doing, of course, capoeira, we were doing something called coco. No, not coco. Forró. No, no, it's not forró. I forgot the name. Wow, that was a really long time ago. That was over 10 years ago. I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna come at some point. So I was doing a bunch of cultural stuff, Brazilian cultural stuff, and it was really cool because these demonstrations, they were like 30 minutes. Sorry, I have something in my throat. So it was really cool. It was really cool. I did a lot of capoeira. I was pretty much every single day, and it was pretty cool. I travel. That's the time when I went to Brazil for a month, for 5 weeks. 5 weeks. In those 5 weeks, I was training every single day. I was lifting. Oh my gosh. I was lifting. I was going to the gym a lot. I was training a lot of capoeira. And it was just like that. Wake up, eat breakfast, going for a walk. It was super hot, super, super hot. And then do capoeira. Back to the house, eat, eat again, take a little nap, take a break, check my social media. But back then, I think it was just Facebook. And then at night, guess what? Back to training. So I was like training every day, sometimes twice per day, sometimes one. We travel inside the state, but it was really fun. Back to the topic. Uh, it is very a lot of questions, right? When you want to switch either group, want to switch supervision, or stop doing capoeira. So we honestly, and now from the instructor side, or or I say instructor because I'm not, I don't have the rank, but now on the teacher instructor side, when if they leave, we don't own students. The day I start teaching, the day I started teaching, I talk to myself, they probably are gonna be leaving me one day, or they they're gonna stop doing capoeira, which it happened. Some of my kids stopped doing capoeira, and it was very sad to see them to stop doing capoeira for like a year before the pandemic, and or they were off and on, off and on, off and on, and I was like, man, I wish they can come more, because I want to share capoeira with them. But we don't own students. We don't own students. If you get mad because your students leave you, you have to check your ego, because and let me tell you this in the good way, right? As your friend, if a student leave you, is for their own decision. You know what I mean? It comes back again to the friend judgment. Like, my friends shouldn't be mad if I make the decision, if that's going to make me happy. So if we have students that are going to leave, and we have students that switch supervision, switch instructor, teachers, or whatever, they shouldn't be mad. Or we, as instructor, we shouldn't be mad, because it's the exact same situation. And we don't own students, and is just part of the journey. You find what is good for you, and then you find what you like. And uh same thing, for example, a side fun fact about me. I don't know if should I say fun fact, but a fact about me. When I switched to Capoeira Brazil, I was under my instructor back in Venezuela. Then when I moved to the US in 2013. Wow, it's about to be 8 years. That's fast. In 2013, and I'm having this conversation with you just to let you getting more inside my life, okay? And because this stuff that I don't really talk to a lot of people, but this is why some stuff happens, right? So I switched supervision when I moved to the US. It didn't work out. Again, is it wasn't what I was looking for. And then around 2015, I think it was 2015, 2016, something like that, I switched supervision again inside Capoeira Brazil. And again, it didn't work out. And then I finally switched supervision there under Mr. Mindinho. And now it feels a lot of value. Is you have to find what you're looking for. And if you don't know what you look for, you don't know how to find it, right? So you gotta keep looking and ask yourself, okay, what do I want, and where I want to go, and what I need to get for me to get where I want to go, if that makes sense. But once and I met Mr. Mindinho back in 2013, I believe so. 13 or 14, one of those two years. And we talk, we had little conversations, we became friends since there. And it was a click. I was like, man, Mr. Mindinho is he has something. He has something that I like. And then with the years, I saw his work, the way he speaks about capoeira, and the way he explains about capoeira. And I was like, man, this I think this is what I'm looking for. And then I finally made a decision to switch to Mr. Mindinho, to his supervision and his guidance and his mentorship. And I'm honestly super, super happy. We talk all the time, and we have a great relationship as a friends, and also as a mestre student. And I learn so much under his supervision that I have before. And right now, with my hand on my chest, I can say, with my hand on my heart, I can say, I have a mastery. I have somebody that's going to guide me, and is going to be there for me when I have questions. And it makes me super, super happy. Makes me very, very happy to have, because again, there's a lot of questions that you have when you're teaching, and there's a lot of, what do I do here? What questions? What do I do here? What do I need to do now? What is the next step, man? What do I do? So it's better and it's easier when you have a mentor, because they tell you, or mentor is a very common word right now, right? But when you have somebody guiding you and telling you, okay, now you can do this, and or we can be, man, don't do that. Switch it from there to this, and when you see the results and be like, hey, master, that didn't work. Should I do it like this, or should I do it like this? Oh, okay. And then they start working from there. But it's awesome. I'm super happy, and I think I really believe this is what I was looking for. So I encourage you to and once you find what you look for, that's going to make your relationship even stronger, because uh, you have to identify the person is teaching you, and you have to identify and feel comfortable, and feel good with yourself, and feel fine, and feel good in all the ways, all the ways that you're not gonna be judged because you make a decision, bad judgment, or you're gonna be you know is great. And I encourage you to talk to your instructor, to current instructor, and be like, hey, well, I feel about this, man. And either if it's good or it's bad, man, I really love your class. And tell your instructor, tell them how much you appreciate them, because that's going to help them to feel better. And they are going to feel appreciated. If you talk to them and you tell them, your instructor, tell your instructor, tell your teacher, your professor, whoever, your maestre, Mestre, I really appreciate what you do. I really appreciate all your sacrifices, and I appreciate all the effort that you have behind the scenes, because it takes a lot of work to organize classes. It takes a lot of work to build a student for ground zero, and it takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of energy too. And it's a lot of process behind that, to build a single student. Do you imagine 10, 20, 15, 15? I went to 20 to 15, 20, 30, 100, 200,000 people. So it takes a lot of energy, and we have to, as a students, we have to learn how to appreciate their sacrifices, and we have to learn how to appreciate their work too, and because capoeira is beautiful, man. Capoeira is a lot of stuff. And the last point, and that's pretty much, that's pretty much about we don't own any students. Now, the second point I want to talk, I want to talk about, what the hell I want to talk about is the and is this is a very short point, is spirituality in capoeira. I was talking yesterday to uh, um, a guy where I'm teaching. If you've seen the vlogs, go check it out, because I talk a little bit about where I'm teaching in one of the dance studios. If and so if you see that, just make sure you subscribe. So I was talking to him about spirituality, and capoeira is about spirituality, because, and I was explaining to him, spirituality is not about, religion. Uh it's not about uh, uh, worship a god, or like bow to somebody, or bow to a god, or is about like very internal um connection with yourself, with uh we are spiritual beings in this body. We're borrowing this body for a period of time. Some people short, some people longer. So, and our spirit is going to be connected with other spirits, with your friends, with your family, with your partners, and that connection is a spiritual connection. Once you are in the hada, and if you have done capoeira, and you've been in a hada where you get goosebumps, or I've been in hadas where I even want to cry, because the connection is so deep, and the energy is so amazing, man. It's just amazing in that moment, that you just let yourself loose, and you just let yourself float, and just let yourself flow with that energy. And I get goosebumps right now, but is a really cool connection once you are there, and everybody is singing synchronized, the instruments are in tone, everybody's clapping really nice, and it's a connection, very very deep connection, and it's a spiritual connection. And again, no, it's not about religion, it's not about gods, it's deeper, man. It's a very deep connection. And again, at the beginning of, remember the topic I was talking about, of explaining somebody to capoeira, to that they don't know about capoeira. How can you explain that person, that spirituality part, is so is different ways, and we can talk about that another time, because it's a very extent topic. But we have to respect that, and we have to learn how to look for it, because that's going to connect us deeper to capoeira. And we can do that through music, the berimbau. And that's why I focus so much on and talking here. If you have listened to many of my episodes, I talk about instruments, especially the berimbau, playing the berimbau. Once you connect with the berimbau, and you play, and you just feel the tones and feel the music, trust me, it's a connection, beautiful, beautiful connection. That's why I'm encouraging everybody to learn berimbau. There's many people teaching berimbau to these days. Your instructor can teach you berimbau, and it's awesome, man. It's awesome. So I encourage you to connect with capoeira music on a very deeper level, because that's going to help you to develop your connection with capoeira once you are a little bit in depth into capoeira. So that will be the point for the spiritual part or spirituality in capoeira. Now, like I promised before, like I promised at the beginning, this is my next guest. Well, I'm not sure if you're going to be the next. It's probably not the next week, but the following week probably, because I'm still in the schedule time for him. He knows about about history. He knows about music. He knows about spirituality in capoeira. He knows how to teach kids. He had a course, online course, how to teach kids. It was a really, really cool information right there. So again, be ready to have this podcast with dun 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 Mestre Fejadura. Mestre Fejadura has a really cool history to teach, really cool history of history, and he's been studying all this kind of stuff, how to teach kids, how there's many cool stuff behind the scenes that we'll talk with him in the podcast. Again, if you made it this far and you have a question about history, if you have a questions um, about music, if you have a question about rituals, if you have a questions about anything in capoeira, anything, don't be afraid to reach out, either Facebook, either Instagram, either a comment on YouTube, either a comment on Instagram or my DM on Instagram. Um, Podcast Capoeira, okay? Podcast Capoeira. Find me there, or just look for me, the Capoeira Experience Podcast, or my personal Instagram is Harley, like the motorcycle, without the E. So it's HARLY underscore M. M as a Mary. HARLY underscore M. So, and don't be afraid to reach out and be like, hey, I heard your podcast about you're bringing on Mr. Fejadura, but you have to do it this week. So I can ask him and have the questions ready for him. And I can send it to him, and he can find the answers faster. Instead of that way, we don't know, like juggling during the podcast, because he's going to be hopefully an hour. I don't think where he's going to be less. I know we're going to be talking a lot, and he's I'm very happy to bring him, and I've been looking forward to bring him. Shootouts to Instructor Sua. Next week, we're going to be having a workshop, online workshops with Instructor Sua. Make sure you and Calgary, Grupo uh, Ashe. Make sure you go there, find him, find his Instagram, and get some information from him, so that way you can assist to the workshop. So my workshop is going to be next Friday. It's going to be March 19th, next Friday, at Indiana or Toronto time. It's going to be 8 p.m. and it's going to be a Friday. Uh, Go to register. Here's the information to register. Uh, Go to capoeiraabc.com /forward zoom. Okay, and you will have information there. You have registration there. Um, is going to be, let me see, here's more information. Uh, Let me see. It's going to be $65 or whatever you can afford. Okay, make sure you go there. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Let's go do it. Let's go be part of this. Let's go support the community. That's how we grow, and that's how we help each other. And let's be part of these shootouts to Instructor Sua. Thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you so much for bringing me on to this amazing opportunity, and thank you so much for putting all this together, and thank you so much also for putting me in contact with Mr. Fejadura. Thanks to you, I got in contact with Mr. Fejadura. So thank you so much. Let's talk, and let's be in touch. Reach out so I can put the questions there for Mr. Fejadura. Make sure you follow if you made it this far. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram, and stay tuned for more, especially Mr. Fejadura. I'm trying to bring more capoeiristas that I'm trying to get in touch with them. They have really amazing works, really, really amazing work. And trust me, you're gonna listen to their information because it's really cool learning from these guys. All right, thank you so much. Subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast on iTunes. Subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, and now we are on Audible, the Audible app. Now you can go there. You can listen to my podcast there. Make sure you subscribe and comment. I know you like it. Peace. If you're listening to this and watching this video on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I see a lot of views there, but there's not a lot of subscribers. You better subscribe if you're watching the YouTube, okay? Thank you so much. Peace out, brothers and sisters. Peace. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for getting this far. Remember, please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook or YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is going to help us and help me to get bigger numbers and bigger subscribers so we can give more information, okay? Please, if you're listening, I know you're listening, I know you're watching, please give me a subscribe, give me a like, okay? I know you're watching right here or listening. All right, have an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening every single episode, especially the episode we just did. All right, thank you so much. Peace.